for the BBC. Today on the Better Broadcasting Corporation's Arts News programme, we welcome back author and multimedia artist Kenneth King, whose fascinating new novel, Disruption, has just been issued by Club Lighthouse Publishing. It's available in paper economically from Amazon as well as the publisher, and is also available in all digital formats for e-readers and mobiles. Kenneth King is the author of 6 other novels, including The Glass Pond and The Disappearing Game. His new novel is distinguished by letting the characters themselves be the narrators. So my first question is, what made you decide on this format? The convention of the narrative voice can be intrusive and stereotypical. Because of the immediacy of our digital and media world, the challenge was to let the characters speak for themselves. How interesting. I've been wondering if writing all the dialogue for your YouTube movies might also have been a factor. Possibly, but language captivates because even without visuals, words automatically call up pictures and images. And so the challenge was to let the characters' voices inform the reader and spark their imagination. We've been infected by what I call the masterpiece theater syndrome. Movies impose images, whereas the power of a novel resides in letting the reader create the movie. What's also curious in your new novel, Disruption, is how the sacred and profane collide at Vermont's Coulter College, known for innovatively combining academics and vocational training. Kenneth, what made you choose a rustic and idyllic campus as your setting? Colleges are microcosms that mirror the explosive turbulence of our macrocosmic world, especially given all the polarizing politics and survival pressures. A disruption is structured in a curious way, alternating interludes between the students' more secretive, gossipy, and crusty interactions in counterpoint to the more serious, thoughtful, and sophisticated exchanges between the 3 main characters. Jason Fawkes, the most popular and revered professor, and his associates, Elsa Conley, who teaches literature, and her husband, Ronald McLean, who heads the psychology department. I'm always looking for a novel in which the characters have actual conversations about ideas, politics, books, society, class, money, history, race, and of course, sex. One big inspiration has been playwright Ethel Fugard, who creates masterful theater with only 2 or 3 characters that brilliantly exposes an entire political landscape and psychological terrain at the same time. Underneath your narrative, a slow, steady, almost undetectable tension brews that finally explodes into crises and scandals, and that, like a thriller, builds to an unexpected climax. Every novel needs elements of tension and suspense. The thriller aspect remains camouflaged until the ending. The main character intrigued me. Tell me a little about Jason Fawkes. Jason Fawkes teaches a practical philosophy course that is the most popular with the students because he deals frankly with subjects that their parents and other professors don't talk about. Politics, protest, nutrition, hygiene, sex, contraception, and so forth. But with his associates, Jason shares the mysteries of ideas, literature, sexology, the future of artificial intelligence, and quantum reality. He's an adventuresome thinker. Would you please read us a short selection? Ron, it all goes back to that single, short, fateful meeting between William James and Sigmund Freud in 1910 at Clark University in Worcester, Massachusetts, shortly before James's death, an especially important historical moment. James and Freud went for a walk together. William James offered to carry Freud's valise until he had to stop because of heart palpitations. Ron, you undoubtedly know that William James wasn't a prude, but he was suspicious of Freud's obsessive preoccupation with sexuality. You know how curious kids are about sex, so you have to wonder how psychology might have developed had their approaches somehow been integrated. Their meeting was prescient. It was as if the future bridge between the centuries, continents, and styles suddenly materialized, the cusp just before the explosion of modernism. But a scandal is brewing because of college politics and a very serious financial crunch, which forces Caltech College's President Martin to appoint billionaire Winston Scarpino as a trustee. Scarpino's luxurious celebrity golf course adjoins the college property, and he in turn enlists a shady hedge fund broker to help bolster the school's troubled endowment. Curiously, there's a marsh or muddy pond off to the side of the first hole of the golf course that appears twice in your novel, and without giving away the ending, where a crime occurs. Kenneth, I've been told that you come from a golfing family. Please explain. Well, it's a little embarrassing. My parents and brother were very good golfers, and the first time I went out with them, I swung the club and the golf ball went smack into the muddy pond. That was my first and last golf game, but it gave me an idea. And billionaire Scarpino has more than skeletons in his closet. He hosts private, drug-fueled sex parties that involve a female student, which sets off a cascade of secrets and scandals. Yes, one of the students, Mary Ellen Pincus, finds out that her parents can no longer pay her tuition, so she is coerced into attending the parties to make extra money. That's how we find out the inside scoop about the college's illegal financial manipulations. The contradiction and conflict is between money and education, finances and knowledge. Isn't that perennial? Oh, heavens, that's beyond my pay grade. Oh, and in your new novel, you're fascinated with how our digital world is breaking through to other realities because of artificial intelligence. Would you please read another short selection? Elsa, I've become especially intrigued by time. Neurologists and parapsychologists know that time is constantly expanding and contracting, like an accordion. Time may be more complex than space. Both space and time involve multidimensional transferences, hence quantum reality. Art is often ahead of its time and reveals the future by illuminating changing perception before the culture catches on. For example, the Cubists were a jump ahead. As the 19th century morphed into the 20th, Cézanne, Braque, and Picasso prepared the eye for Gestalt, wraparound vision, and the fourth dimension by breaking up planes and surfaces, scrambling logic, images, and perspectives. The internet is our closest approximation because with a click of the mouse, we can move anywhere quickly between websites, sources, screens, and locations. Remember, Elsa, TV originally meant televisual, sending pictures across space-time the way radio transmitted voices. So why not now directly between brains? Our holographic world was actually triggered decades ago by MTV's rapid pulsing, quick changing imagery. Now, constantly reconfiguring digital mosaics relay instant, non-stop, interactive information, which provides the connection between quantum reality and artificial intelligence. AI is moving more and more to direct media brain and brain-to-brain connectivity, analogous to electronic telepathy, like what we do all the time with our screens and news feeds. Reality is continually being scrambled and recomposed. It's non-stop fission and fusion. Oh, well, Kenneth King, you started out as an actor and have had a career as a multimedia dancer, choreographer, and author, a somewhat unusual combination. And then during COVID, made over 20 YouTube iMovies and videos in which you played 10 unusual comic characters, and even created a 10-part sitcom Happy Valley Retirement Village. Oh, thank you, Kenneth King, for joining us today on Arts News. More information is available on his website, KennethKingMedia.com, and you can watch him impersonating many characters on his YouTube channel, Kenneth King Media.